So the goal of many people is to become a digital nomad. Maybe you've seen a lot of videos in the past, or you've seen some of my videos and you've been inspired to become a digital nomad. But you need to understand that the way to make this happen, or one of the most probable ways to make this happen, is to learn how to make money on the internet from your computer. This video, I'm going to cover some of the ways to which I've been able to do that. But before I go into it, I want to tell you that these are things that I have tried in the past, things that I've done or still doing. And I'm not just doing some internet research, things you can do and try and bringing you some fluff or some garbage information. In fact, I credit my being able to become a digital nomad to trying some of the things that I will be sharing with you in this video. And if that's something you're interested in, stick around because it's going to be very helpful to you. But before I get into it, I need to let you know that there's some pros and cons to this lifestyle as well. Pros and cons to being a digital nomad, to working on the internet and not have a stable job, if you will, or a stable paycheck, which a lot of people find interesting. A lot of people find that as being an advantage of having a normal life, a conventional lifestyle. But before I get into it, there are days where I wake up and I'm like, what the hell have I done? Like, why am I even doing this? I question my motives. And there are days when I wake up, I'm like, I would never imagine myself doing anything else other than what I'm doing right now. So you need to prepare for those days, and you need to adopt the mindset of, I will make this work no matter what. I will make this work no matter what comes around, because those days are surely going to come. Now, there are three things that I want to share with you in this video, and it will be ranked from worst to best. Now, that is not saying that the worst of it will not make you money. It's just saying that I would rather do the best one rather than do the worst one. So let's get right into those three things. Number one, selling stuff online. E-commerce is probably the most popular way of making money online these days because one, everybody buys stuff online. Think Amazon, think eBay, think Etsy. People go online to the stores and they buy stuff. In fact, it's become an important aspect of our lives. People make subscriptions to these things so that they can get their goods and services in sometimes the same day or the next day. So this is very important to a lot of people. Now, if you can get a piece of that digital pie, then you're onto something. Now, e-commerce is the way through which I was able to quit my job and start my journey to becoming a digital nomad back in 2020 and early 2021. That was when I started seeing some success with my dropshipping store. Now, speaking of dropshipping, this is the lowest barrier to entry into the e-commerce space. It is simply placing yourself as the middleman and finding a specific product that people might be interested in and marketing those products to other people. Now, dropshipping is quite easy. That's why a lot of people do it, but it is also very difficult because a lot of people are doing it. So it's a two-edged sword, if you will, because one, you can make a lot of money and you can make no money and you can lose money doing dropshipping. But the biggest drawback of dropshipping is that you are just a middleman. You're not building anything that, could last a lifetime. Of course, some people have been able to turn the dropshipping stores into a real brand, but that is probably less than 1% of the population. So if you want to do this, know that this is just a short-term way to make money on the internet, but if you can crack that code, then you can turn it into something bigger. I personally want to be able to provide value to people. That's why I haven't been able to stick with dropshipping too much, and a lot of my stores have just died in the process. But if you can find a way to make this work, it is definitely a sure way to make money online. One, you can use Shopify dropshipping, you can do Facebook Marketplace dropshipping, you can sell on Etsy, you can do print on demand using Printful and connecting it to a Shopify store. I'm not going to go into the detail because I know there's enough training out there on YouTube that you can go watch. But this is definitely something that you can try because it's worked for me, it's worked for thousands and thousands of people, and it definitely can work for you as well. Now, number two is content creation. Now, a lot of people want to create content, but what type of content should you create, or what platforms should you use to create that content? Now, I cannot tell you that because different personalities are suited to different things. For example, I cannot write a blog, not because I cannot write, but I don't see myself as being a prolific writer enough to stick with blogging for the long run. Now, video making on the other end, I like to think that I'm very confident on camera. I like to make YouTube videos. In fact, I have two channels right now. This and another channel where I teach, the technical aspect of how to make money online, how to market your product. These are things that I do because I enjoy them. Now, you need to ask yourself, is content creation something that you enjoy doing? Now, if you enjoy doing it, then you're onto something, because I've seen a lot of digital nomads being able to travel full time and making content creation their #1 source of income. Case in point, there's a digital nomad which you already know. Maybe you don't know. His name is Matt, nomadicmatt.com. He has this blog where it teaches people how to travel on a shoestring budget. And that is a very large number of people who are trying to backpack through Asia, backpack through Europe, through South America. And he's being able to capitalize on that type of audience using his skill as a writer to educate people, to bring value to people. And that in turn has made him a lot of money in the process. Of course, there's been other businesses that's come out of Nomadic Matt, but I'm pretty sure his blog is the biggest money maker here. So you need to ask yourself, what is that thing that you enjoy talking about, or that you enjoy doing, that you want to share with the world? There has to be a core idea or a core desire to impact value into other people. Now, you might want to do travel vlog and all these things. I don't recommend that. I tried travel vlogging, but it's not something that I want to do, because one, I'm not bringing any value to anybody by showing them what I'm having for lunch or what I'm having for dinner or the best beach that I'm swimming at. Now, if you want to do that, there has to be a unique proposition that you want to bring to people, a value that you want to add to their lives or to their travels, whether by inspiring them to travel or by making their travel easier. I think that is the way to go about it. But content creation is a very good way to make money while you travel, and you can definitely sustain your long-term travel by being a content creator. Now, let's talk about the third one, which is definitely my favorite, and that is freelancing. Now, freelancing is doing something for other people that they cannot do by themselves. In other words, you're the professional. You know how to do something. You know how to, write a blog post. You know how to take photos. You know how to edit videos. You know how to do digital marketing. These are some of the things that you can offer as a value to other people. Now, this is something I've been doing for almost 4 years on and off, but I've been doing this full time for the last 2 years. And that's the way through which I've been able to sustain my travel long term. So being a freelancer is something you can do. In fact, anyone can do, and there's very little barrier to entry. So if you know something, if you have a skill that is in demand, maybe you know how to, do social media marketing. There's so many platforms out there, but I would recommend that you sign up on Upwork, which is the biggest freelancing platform in the world. And a lot of people will tell you to do this without having tried it themselves. But I've tried it. I've been an Upwork freelancer for the last 3 years. A lot of my biggest clients right now came from Upwork, and I'm making full-time income from Upwork alone just by getting clients on Upwork. Of course, I have other sources of income, but Upwork has been my biggest source of revenue over the last 1 year. And I'm pretty sure that you can do that as well. All you have to do is identify one thing that you can do or what value you can bring to other people and just go do that. Now, if you're wondering how do you get started with Upwork with freelancing, I have an Upwork training that I put together a couple months ago. These are the best strategies, ways to which I've been able to triple the size of my business by just freelancing Upwork. I'll leave it in the description if you want to check it out. So these are the ways through which I've been able to do it, and ways through which you can definitely do it as well. Now, look at all these 3 things that I shared in this video. Pick one that suits your lifestyle, your personality, and just decide that you're going to stick with it no matter what. Because if you keep jumping from thing to thing, chances are you're going to give up in the very short term. So if you have any questions about all of these things that I've said in this video, or you just want to get in touch with me, leave them in the comments. I'll make sure to get back to them. And if you want to get in touch with me on Instagram as well, it's if Daniel did. Don't hesitate to send me messages. I will be more than happy to chop it up, whatever questions you may have. I hope this video has been helpful. Consider subscribing to this video, and if you want to listen to my podcast where I talk to other digital nomads doing some incredible stuff, check out the podcast Inspired by Freedom. I'll leave a link to it in the description as well. Anyways, my name is Daniel, and I will see you in the next video.